Hey everyone, and welcome to the Dice Tower. I'm Camilla, and in this list, I'm going to be bringing you my top 10 games of 2024 that I want to play on a weeknight. Now, what is a weeknight? A weeknight is going to be, or a weeknight game, I should say, is going to be one that I want to play when I don't want to put a lot of time into setup. I don't want to play a big campaign, which is like my go-to, something I love to do, right? That's my style of game, if you will. So I don't want to jump into one of my campaigns. I don't want a lot of setup. I don't want to have to go to the rule book. I want to have learned this game once and still remember it 90 to 95%, so I don't have to go back to that rule book, and I can just have a pleasing, charming experience. So for me, it's going to be some usually quick setup, quick tear down, easy gameplay, but not sacrifice any of that decision space that you know I love in games. So let's check out my top 10 weeknight games of 2024. And first up, we have River Valley Glassworks. This is a very light, charming set collection game. But I hear set collection and usually I think cards. In this one, it's going to be these little glass stones. They're plastic, of course, but they represent glass that's floating down the river. I think the interesting twist here is that to take the glass, you're looking at the shape of the one that you're putting out on the board, and that's going to dictate what you can take. Once you take that glass, you're adding it into your tableau by color and trying to collect sets of colors. It's a very quick playing game. I think you can play it with anybody in your family because it is really light, but you can also get this little expansion, and with that expansion brings a lot of modularity. You'll have a little bit of asymmetry that comes into play, or maybe some end game goals. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in the game without really increasing the weight. It's absolutely beautiful when it's on the table. It's very tactile. We have Andrew Bosley artwork in it, and it's just, like I said, absolutely charming. It can hit the table in about 20 minutes on any weeknight, and I really think that's a sweet spot for those short nights. You just want a little taste of gaming. So River Valley Glassworks is my number 10. Number 9 is the heaviest game on the list, and this is going to be Dungeon Legends. I put this one solidly in the family category, and it's going to be a little bit longer as well. It's going to play at about an hour. However, that hour is going to give you a feel of a big dungeon crawl. This is going to be card-based. You have these different sites that are represented in this long dungeon, and you're moving your characters around trying to take out all the bad guys. I find it to be a very fulfilling dungeon crawl experience in a family weight category, and again, quick play time as well. You have a little bit of asymmetry again with the characters, which is a lot of fun, but not enough that even your younger family couldn't grasp onto the rules of this. So I put it at about 10 plus, but as an adult, it's definitely one that I grab on a weeknight if I want to feel like I played a dungeon crawler without having a lot of overhead or jumping into a campaign or having to have a lot of setup and tear down time. So for me, number 9 is Dungeon Legends. And at number 8, we have Solstice. This is a little bitty box of a game that still is going to bring some great tension and gameplay to the table. It is going to be 2-player only, so this is for those couples out there. You can't play solo, you can't play at 3, you can't invite your family and friends. It's just 2 people. And I really like that. I like that it stays in that scope and it does it really well. So you're going to be building out a landscape in front of you. It's going to have some open drafting. Now these tiles are preset where they go in your tableau, so you want to try to get the ones that are going to be next to each other, either going up the mountain or side by side, so that you have one contiguous path and a really big one. It's very little setup, but again, like I said, it's not going to compromise that tension as you see the tiles out there and you're just trying not to give away what you want because you have a little bit of a hidden hand as well. And it's just quick to play, quick to set up, and the scoring is so simple that I think it just hits a really nice niche of getting to the table, played, off the table, and still in bed by 8 p.m. because, well, I'm old and that's when I go to bed. So for me, number 8 is going to be Solstice. At number 7, we have Flower Fields. This one kind of caught me off guard how charmed I was by it. The more I play it, the more I just keep wanting to play it because it just leaves a smile on my face. I don't think it does anything really innovative, but it puts a couple things I like together in a really clean package that keeps it hitting the table quick. So it's going to be a polyomino game where you're going to go through a selection system, a round selection, I guess kind of like a rondelle, and select a tile to play into your tableau, and you're trying to put together groups of the same color and have bees in those groupings so that you can multiply your scoring. So I really like that mechanism of you're building your own scoring. Yes, you can have a huge group of red, for example, but if there's only one bee, then each of the tiles in there is only going to score 1 point. So you want to have 2 bees and they each score 2 points, or if you can get 3 bees. So it's going to feel really tight, but there's enough ways to get around it that it's still comfortable and you never feel like you have a wasted turn or a setback. So for me, Flower Fields is just absolutely charming. It's easy gameplay. Reminds me of a couple other games like this that I like, but still stands on its own the way it brings these mechanisms together in a clean package. So number 7 is Flower Fields. And number 6 is one of my favorite games of the year. I won't spoil where it came out on the list. You'll have to go watch that video. But Kinfire Delve is definitely in my top 10 of the year. I am in love with this card game. I am not usually a card game player. But I do love this one. I love to play it solo, and I love to play it at 2, 3, or 4. So all player counts, I think that this works very well. It is going to be a longer game. We're looking at about an hour, which for the weeknight kind of pushes about what I'm comfortable doing. But it really brings a lot of tension and just kind of scratches that dungeon crawl itch. Like I said, it is going to be a card game in which you have your own character in your deck, which are asymmetrical, and you're going up against a baddie together. That baddie is just one baddie who has its own deck, and you're just trying to get through that deck. There's a lot of cooperation in this where you can use your cards to boost the other player's actions, so you're going to feel like you're talking a lot if you are playing with other people. But again, if you're playing in solo, that's not compromised because you have a little bit of different, you can boost yourself as well, so you really, it makes it a little bit more puzzly. So I really like Kinfire Delve. Again, if I'm looking for a dungeon crawl kind of feel, but I don't want minis, I don't want any setup, I want to sit down, take out a deck of cards and start playing, Kinfire Delve absolutely scratches that itch, and I recommend you check it out. It's my number 6. Now at number 5, we have In the Footsteps of Marie Curie. This one is going to bring us back into that family weight category. This is a follow-up to In the Footsteps of Darwin. I do think this one has a little bit more going on, but it's still solidly in that family weight category. And it has a cube tower. Resource management with a cube tower. So that's going to bring a lot of exciting moments as you're trying to get the resources you need to complete these experiments you need and move through the life of Marie Curie. But with the cube tower, it's that random resources that are going to fall out. So you have to be really tactical on your turns. You plan ahead a little bit and you know what you want to do, but then on your turn, based on the resources, you have to figure out how to do what you want to do. So a little bit of planning ahead with the strategy, but really tactical as you're trying to adjust to the kind of flexible economy here of the resources that come out. For a family weight game, I definitely recommend In the Footsteps of Marie Curie at my number 5. And at number 4, we have Castle Combo, which is kind of the spiritual successor to Faraway. But if you've not played Faraway, or you're like me and don't really like Faraway, don't shy away from this game. Castle Combo, while you can kind of feel the design in it, it's a very, very different game. This one is going to be open drafting, and you're going to be building out a tableau of 9 cards. Each turn, you're going to play 1 card. Yes, that means you have 9 turns. That's it. So you can see how this is going to fit the table on a weeknight with very quick play. You're just drafting and playing 9 cards. In playing those cards, you are building your own scoring as well, which is another one of my favorite mechanisms. So you're looking to place those cards out in your tableau next to each other, which are going to give or enhance scoring opportunities. Draft 9 cards, play them in your tableau, score them, and you're done. I think this game has a great pace to it where it keeps going and it always feels like it ends 1 round too early, or you just have that 1 card that didn't quite fit, which just leaves you wanting to try again. So for a quick drafting game, I highly recommend Castle Combo at number 4. At number 3, we have Draft and Write Records. This is going to be a roll and write style game, but of course it is drafting and writing. So you're going to draft some cards. In those cards you're drafting, it is going to either be band members or something you need in order to manage that band, because ultimately that's what you're doing. You are building and managing a band. You have to manage everything from their schedule to them going out on the road and on tour, to their photo ops, to actually building the band as well, to how well they harmonize together. So you're going to draft a card and then use that card to fill out your player sheet. In filling this out, you're going to notice there's a lot of combos. I mean, so for example, if you schedule something, perhaps getting on that schedule is going to give you some money. So then if you have some money, you can actually expand your band and be able to hire another musician, for example, or perhaps that's the money you needed to go out on tour. So then you jump over to that section. So a lot of combos as you go through this. You're going to go through a couple rounds of drafting cards, filling out your player sheet, and at the end, whichever band is the most prestigious is going to win. This is a great, again, roll and write style game, but has the drafting element kind of driving it. I really enjoy getting this to the table when I just want that combo-tastic night. You know, I just want to feel successful through the whole game. So Draft and Write Records is my number 3. Reforest is another really small game, and again by that I mean the actual box size and the amount that it's going to take up on your shelves, but not in the actual depth of gameplay. So in this one you're going to once again be building a tableau out of cards, and that's going to represent your forest or your mountain. What I find really interesting about this is those cards that you're planting, those plants and those trees that you're planting into your landscape here are actually going to serve as your resources as well. So you can leave them out there for the whole game, either giving or increasing the scoring at the end of the game, or you can use them to pay for other cards as you're building on top of them. So I really think this like self-feeding economy that you have is really engaging in the game. I really find myself pulling this off the shelf on those weeknights when I have about 30 minutes to play. I don't want to think about setup or anything, but I also don't want to sacrifice gameplay. Reforest is just absolutely charming, and that's why it's my number 2. And my number 1 weeknight game of 2024 is going to be Sparks. I love the interaction on this game. I love that there is that follow action, and what I mean by that is there is a person who's taking their turn, but everybody else gets to do something as well. It's not going to be as powerful, but you're feeding into your own engine to where when it's your turn again, you feel like you have a major turn. So every time it gets back to you, it's just so satisfying. You're building up your robots, you're giving yourself some special abilities, you're hiring assistants, giving you kind of a one-up that nobody else has. I really enjoy the gameplay of this. I think it is very satisfying. Every turn you're going to be engaged in this game from the first turn to the last, which means there's no downtime. You're just enjoying a game and really creating a fun experience with those at the table as you're have that tension on their turn. Hope they leave the dice you want, but if not, how do I react to that? How do I set up for that major turn on when it does come back to me? All those great feelings, all that tension, all that success in a family weight game. I really enjoy this, and for me, that's why Sparks is my number 1 weeknight game of 2024. There you go. Which of these have you played? Which do you find hitting your table during the week? And which ones are you excited to check out? Are there any games I missed on this list? Perhaps I haven't played or, I haven't heard of. Let me know down in the comments below and we'll be sure to check it out. Until next time, thank you for stopping by. I'm Camilla.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.